Look at this. Wow. Ugh. That's quite a bit. Let's see where to start from, guys. I didn't know what to expect. The bag was closed. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different matcha, 2 Genmaicha powder, 2 sencha powder, and 2 hojicha powder. So I think I will have enough today with the matcha, maybe those for another video. I get all set up and then we get started with the kick. 2 grams of matcha, and I just pour straight in 70 milliliters of water. This is not the exact way I would do it if I have just to enjoy one matcha, but we have 6 in front of us, so I go a little bit for a faster method. At the end, it's just first of all a matter of comparing them with one another. I have no idea about the prices, so here is just about one after the other and get some feelings. First one. Just very straight to it. It's good for uducha. I wouldn't go for it for better matcha like koicha or so, because it's already a little bit bitter like that. It's good bitterness, but it lacks a little bit of umami. I would consider these I mean, not an entry level, but maybe let's say a medium quality. Let's put it like this. From yeah, really, right. From 1 to 10, I would just give it a 5. That's a little bit better. It lacks a little bit of light, of sparks. Yeah, it's kind of if you compare it to a color, is a gray, but it's not too bright, and it goes into the gray, if that makes sense. I will have to take some notes here, I just realized. I'm really curious about those Genmaicha, Hojicha powder, Sencha powder. I didn't know, they didn't mention that they sent those. I just asked for matcha. This has a much nicer foam. It's either me that I got skilled, but it seems really much more consistent. Look how it stays all together. All right, that's another level. Way less bitter, it's actually sweet. It's pretty sweet. I would say it still lacks umami for my taste, but at least a 7. At least a 7. I would call it sweet. I have to say that the color of the powder is pretty good in all of them. So they grounded this recently for sure. Because just the quality of the first one was not at the level where I would say, just by looking at the color, that's what I would have expected. It was actually very bright, so was certainly grounded recently. All right, perfect. Our 2 grams. Here we got also a very nice foam. It's probably the one that I like the most. Not sure if it's everyone taste, but it's not as sweet as the previous one, but also not as bitter as the one before. It has more body for sure. You feel it like a certain level of heft, of heaviness in your mouth. Very rich. Yeah, that's the one I like. Like, if I say balanced, you would say boring, right? It's neither sweet nor bitter, just something there in between. But it's not the case. It's like the level of sweetness and bitterness is balanced, is right there. But in terms of taste, there is a lot of, it's very full, it's very bold, without being overwhelming at all. It's really pleasant. It just, I don't know, what I'm thinking right now is just a very good goodness. When you get that, when you really, you want it, because that beer is almost like a meal, right? And here it's kind of the same. It goes in that direction. Oh, this one I'll drink it all. Whoa. Definitely have to eat something right after here. Next up. You see the difference in color here? Very different. This is just by the look of it, lower quality, and I would say also by a fair bit. But you know, I actually asked them also matcha for matcha latte and even for dessert, which maybe would be a good choice. I'm trying them first, just all in exactly the same way. And then depending on what I get out of them, I will decide whether, you know, for some of them I will do some koicha, from some other I will do some matcha latte, or hand over to a friend for bake something. I'm really not good at baking. I even don't know if I want to drink this. It looks like a dirty creek. In terms of foam, it's all fine. But there is foam also in dirty creeks, isn't it? Did they add... Did they add... I don't know. Did they add sugar in it? It's like there is not... It's not bitter enough as I was expecting. The taste is very low level. Well, I didn't evaluate the one before, but really to the one before I would give it an 8, and was the balanced one. And this one, the 4th. I mean, I was on one hand I was expecting is almost worse than it is. I don't know, I think if there would be sugar in the powder, you would see it. That's it. Wow. I mean, that must be really cheap or impossible to justify it. color is pretty bad. Maybe a tiny bit better than the previous one, but yeah, anything but good. So I think between these and the previous one will be a battle for the wars. But let's say wars as Uzu-chan. Maybe it's fine with the latte. I don't know, I have to try. Particularly because the one before, it wasn't bitter actually, as I mentioned. It was just not tasteless, but it was like tasting more like the bark and stems and grass, not so much as tea leaves. So it seems I got really skilled with foaming, with whisking the matcha. It looks even out of very bad matcha, I do miracles here. All right. Yes, better than the previous one. Yes. It doesn't have that weird sweetness and that undergrowth taste that I had before. So in the previous one, I would give it probably, I mean, it's between a 2 and a 3, because there is much worse than that for sure. And this one, well, the fact is that in the first one, I rated it 5, yeah, but it is way better than this one, right? So is maybe I should reconsider that 5 that I gave at first if I want to make a relative comparison and call it a 6, and this one maybe a 4. Yeah, that sounds more appropriate. This has it's like almost a tiny bit of smokiness. Yeah, a tiny bit, right? I mean, at least I associate it with smokiness and mushrooms, actually. So I'm saying not as sweet for good. Like the other one was, it was a weird sweetness, and some mushrooms. And what did I say? Mushrooms and I forgot. Yes, definitely that smokiness. Smokiness, a tiny bit. And there is also something else. It's somewhat marine, a little bit. I mean, it's certainly more pleasant than the other one, just by the fact that I keep on drinking and I'm not throwing it away right away. Certainly better than the previous one. That was the 6th one that is not gonna make all the way completely into my belly, but almost. And now we have the last one. Let's see how that performs. Back to a decent color. Maybe not as bright as the first piece that we had, but I don't know, the light is changing also here, it's getting darker, so it's somewhat difficult to really tell. Incredibly, I'm not yet feeling all the caffeine, but I'm sure it will kick in pretty soon. The foam is whiter. Yes, this is the most vegetal. Also very thick. And more into the bitterness. So let's say, what did I say? Thick. Let's say slightly bitter. Very good bitterness though. And vegetal, we say it, vegetal. Thicker for sure. It has almost a flour consistency. Flour like the flour for the dough. This I think I would go for if I really want strength and bitterness in a daily matcha. Sometime in the morning I don't feel really like getting sweet stuff, and matcha is a good start. Instead of an espresso, you go for a matcha, you get a good start. And the level of bitterness is actually similar to an espresso now that I think. Yeah, it's pretty much. Also some marine. Honestly, now it's difficult to, I mean, for me the favorite was the third one, no doubts. The second one, the one that was more on the sweet side, not definitely my choice, but it was very good, like objectively. The first one was the one green grayish, I said, but still, and I gave a 5 tending to a 6. I don't know, this one would be, let's say, a 6 going into a 7. Like, I would really need a side-by-side comparison to decide where the first and second and this last one really stand, but that's my first impression, and I don't know the prices. So what I'm doing now, I'm gonna write to the producer, and now they're sleeping in Japan, but then I will get the reply about the pricing, and then I will record it again and reveal to you how the 7 different matcha stay with respect to each other in terms of price. And then let's see if my tongue, my tasting buds align with the prices. I hope not, because that would mean that we can get really, really good matcha for not such a high price. I've got the prices, interesting to say the least. Let's first review the evaluation I made a couple of days ago. The first tea I mentioned, it had a grayish taste, somewhat subdued. I gave a score between 5 and 6, let's say 5.5. The second tea was sweet, clearly sweetness, but a little bit too thin. There was body lacking. And I gave a 7, pretty decent tea. Then the third one was the one that I liked the most, a balanced tea. It had strength, flavor, a little bit of bitterness, a little bit of sweetness. The score was 8. The fourth one, even my worst enemy doesn't deserve that tea, was fibrous with an odd sweetness, between 2 and 3, let's say 2.5. The fifth one was better. It didn't have this odd sweetness. It had though a taste of mushrooms and some smokiness. I gave a 4. And the sixth one was not bad at all, especially after those two. I mentioned it was thick and vegetal with a slight bitterness. Between 6 and 7, let's say 6.5. And now let's look at the prices. The most expensive of them all is the tea number 2. And let's say $100, just to put there a reference, wholesale price. The second tea most expensive is the number 1, which was at $45, so less than half the price of the other one. The third tea most expensive is the number 3 with $42, the one that I ranked best. Then we have
The one that follow is number 6 with 34, number 5 with 26, and number 4 with 18. We knew that's the worst. So all in all, not too bad. I actually misplaced only one tea. The one that I ranked best actually had the third prize. And this is what makes it really interesting. What I really want to know now is it really the case, even if we go for koicha, very thick matcha, the truth come to the surface then. So I think I'll jump right on it. I will prepare those 3 teas, the 3 best, all in koicha, and compare them one next to each other. And you will see that in the next video.